It is Tuesday, fresh out of work. And yes, you heard me right, fresh out of work. I got called in at short notice by my manager, and you know I don't turn any money down. And since I'm headed to my vehicle, I might as well get my reflection walk on. And since I am short of time, because I got to drop this Tuesday content, got to pick my son up from school, he got a 2-hour practice. So it is busy, busy, busy. So in order to make sure that I hit every single thing on my list of things to do, I got to do what I got to do. And the thing that I want to talk about during my reflection walk this week is this. I've been seeing a lot of people, whether it be on social media or even in conversation at work, wherever I am, especially men, talk about how difficult life is and how hard it is to pay bills, and they just don't want to live anymore because what is the point when you're struggling? All of this bullshit. And what I want to tell you guys is this, especially men. Man the fuck up. Man up. If life is getting even more difficult for you, maybe it's a lot of the decisions that you have been making. Maybe you're not working hard enough. Maybe you're not focused on the things that you're supposed to be focused on. If you have the time to sit here and argue with people, whether it be from a physical standpoint or even on social media, you might be out of your purpose, because people, men who are living in a purpose-driven lifestyle, they don't have time to be worried about what other people think or what they say, because they're so immersed into what they need to do that is their priority. There is their primary source for motivation, for inspiration, for success. Me, myself, I'm living in my purpose. Even though my purpose can be stressful, meaning being a dedicated father, because that is my purpose. Might seem like it's a simple, small thing, but being a parent is one of the most rewarding things that any human being can actually experience, if you are blessed enough to experience that. But also making sure that they have the things that they need in order to survive and to have a bright future. It takes a lot of sacrifice. So me personally, I don't have time to sit here and argue and complain about things that I have 100% control over. For an example, I cannot complain about not having the money that I need to pay my bills or to invest my money or to live the lifestyle that I want to live if I'm not willing to put myself in the best position possible in order to generate the amount of income. Because we all have control over how much money we make, believe it or not. You don't have to work a mediocre job. You could go back to school and educate yourself or get a certification and make more money. That's all a choice. But to sit online and complain about these things that you have 100% control over is a waste of damn time, okay? It's a waste of time for you to crash out about what's going on in the political climate if you would just turn off your damn internet or social media and focus on the things that you should be focused on. If you are 30 plus years old and you're still living at home with your parents and you're not building something and you're just living off of the land because it's convenient for you, you are by default a fucking loser in my eyes. Because guys like myself, who's been out on their own since they were teenagers and they had to fight the wars of life and deal with the stresses of life. You see these gray hairs? This is coming from a guy who's gone through divorce and custody battles, and on top of having my life threatened, having guns pointed on me, in my youth, and being shot at in my youth, and just dealing with certain things in life. And I'm still here and I'm still grinding like it's no tomorrow. So if you are living at home and you're a man in your 30s, take advantage of that shit. And if you're not taking advantage of it, you need to get back focused. Go out there, fight the world like the rest of us have to. And I guarantee you, you will not have time to sit here and be online complaining about shit. that you have 100% control over. Tuesday content starts now. Good day, good people. It's AT Malone, the first of my name because the second is already here. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more videos from your boy. Now, it is exactly 1:36. I wanted to get this video started a little bit early because today, time is not on my side. As you've seen in my reflection walk, I had to go to work today and I actually start my official work week tomorrow. So I'll be playing catch up the rest of the day, but it is what it is. And quick little note, you see your boy is freshly shaved now, right? Yeah, I look like a wildebeest when I did my reflection walk, but I cleaned myself up. You see that nice taper? I did that myself. Been cutting my hair for almost 20 years now. So this is the thing. Guys, I understand that we are busy. We live busy lives. We're out here fighting the world. We're taking care of our families, our responsibilities. But we must take time to take care of ourselves. If you go to the barber shop, go and do that. Don't slack on that. Just because life gets busy, you need to take care of yourself. You also need to take care of your health. Go get your yearly exam. I just did mine yesterday, got a clean bill of health, no high blood pressure, no high cholesterol. Everything is good over here. And the reason why is because I want to live a long life. I am not trying to die early because of things that I could have prevented. So make sure that you take time to take care of yourself. I know we put other people and their happiness and their well-being in front of our own, but we still want to be around for our loved ones. So take care of yourself. Do yourself a favor because it will pay off in the long run and you will be able to continue to enjoy the things that you have worked hard for, all right? Now, we about to get to it because like I said before, I don't have a whole bunch of time. I still got to edit. I got a meal prep. My son got that 2-hour practice. So we got to get to it. And it is Tuesday and you know what Tuesday is, man. It is time to do our breakdown on the richest man who ever lived, King Solomon's secret to success, wealth, and happiness. And we are on chapter 4. And this is part 1 because I broke this down into 2 parts. Next week, we're really going to deep dive into the relationship aspect of this chapter. Now, this chapter is titled Solomon's Power Secret for Turning Dreams into Reality. And it starts off with a proverb, of course, and it says, "Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is a tree of life." And that is Proverbs 13:12. So we're going to get into mankind's perpetual fuel. For more than 100 years, engineers and scientists have dreamed of a perpetual source of energy, one that would generate more power than it consumes. Imagine a power source that would drive your car without needing to be replenished. But there is a source of mental and perpetual emotional fuel available to us to achieve our dreams. It's called hope. Today, we use the word hope as a synonym for a wish. Yet, to Solomon, his concept of hope can be defined as a well-founded and confident belief that a specific vision will be achieved or fulfilled within a specific amount of time. Now, the biggest takeaway from this definition to me is within a specific time. Now, when you have goals, dreams, aspirations, whatever have you, you have to communicate that first with yourself. And then if you communicate that with somebody else, you're basically holding yourself accountable to that specific time of whatever goal you're trying to achieve, especially if they are assisting you with achieving this goal, okay? Now, I wanted to personally have over 100,000 views in a year span time when I started this channel. And honestly, I surpassed that. I'm like at 168, 69,000. So when I gave myself this goal, I held myself to not only the timeline, but I had to figure out how could I get to these 100,000 subs in a year. Now I know a lot of people are like, man, You could do 100,000 subs in one video if you go viral. But the demographic that I'm reaching, which is more of like the things that I'm into, like the motivation stuff, the anime stuff, just got into the WWE stuff, just my life in general, it's going to take a little bit of time to get to that audience. And it's, you know, it's a building block of success. But I did accomplish that by branching out, letting people, you know, get a better understanding of the things that I'm into. And I was able to reach that because people were telling me like, hey man, why are you putting out so much content? Because I want to reach 100,000 views at this particular time. And I did that. So now this is why the vision mapping process is important. And I talked about the vision mapping process last week. If you want to get up to date on that or in the know, just look at the video from last Tuesday. But it is the basis or the foundation for gaining true hope. As you complete each step, hope is produced to help you achieve the next step. In other words, true hope becomes the fuel that keeps you moving towards your vision. Now, we're going to get into procrastination, and it can be toxic. Now, when you fail to take the necessary steps to complete the task towards your goal, hope can be put off. Or as Solomon says, deferred. When hope is deferred, it begins to slip away. And what happens next? Proverbs 13:12, it says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is a tree of life. When hope is put off, you lose everything: emotional energy, motivation, creativity, productivity, and you give up on your dreams or vision altogether. Now, growing up, your boy wanted to be a rapper. And I've said this before a few months back. Some of the music that I used in this video is my music. Like the bars that are spit at the end of these Tuesday contents, that's actually me rapping. And on my Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday morning thoughts, that's actually me rapping. And I wanted to be a huge rapper. Built my own studio, used to do shows all around the Metroplex with the big time rappers back in the day as well. I've recorded albums after albums that I yet to put out and release, and I might do it eventually. People been trying to get me to do it, but I don't know. I'm not into that scene anymore. But who knows, right? We can't predict the future. But the thing about it is, I stopped really having a passion and desire for that when my son was born. Because when you have a child, your life changes. When you hold them for the first time, it's like you automatically understand the assignment and what the priority is. So what ended up happening is the more time that I dove into my fatherhood and my parental responsibilities, I started recording less, started doing less shows. I lost my desire until I said, you know what? Music ain't me anymore. So I lost that desire, which is a good thing, right? Because you want to prioritize your children. But at the same time, that was a passion of mine that I had to let go. And why did I let it go? Because I no longer had the passion or desire. I started deferring that. I stopped recording in general. So that's exactly what this means, okay? So we create seeds of hope in others by stating or implying commitments. These create a vision. If we fail to fulfill those commitments in a timely manner, the ones deferred hope into, we deferred hope into, lose trust in us and could be the death of a relationship. Now, as you guys know, or if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you now, I incentivize my son, okay? I incentivize him on multiple occasions. If he makes all A's, I give him money. If he makes A's and B's, I'll take him to the arcade. I incentivize him basketball-wise if he hits his metric. And the thing about it is, if he hits these metrics, then I give myself 24 hours. He gives me 24 hours to fulfill my duties as far as making sure he is compensated if he holds his end of the bargain. Now, just imagine if my son went out there, bust his ass, hit his points, did everything, and then I just kept putting off him getting a Frosty if he hits 4 points, or taking him to Yogurt Land if he hits 8 points or more. he would lose a lot of that passion and desire to actually hit the actual metric. So whenever you decide to make a deal or you decide to have a goal, you got to make sure that when you communicate that with people, you make sure you hit that target date as much as you possibly can, okay? So now we are going to get into the last part of, this part 1 of chapter 4, which is deferring hope on the job. When managers defer the hope of their employees, their creativity, productivity, motivation, and commitment gradually declines. Now, we all have had managers that have shot down our ideas, suggestions, or pushed their insecurities on us. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. I actually had a manager specifically tell me when we had our one-on-one that she was not going to prop me up. She was not going to put me up for a promotion because my background was better than hers. My skill set was better than hers. I was more qualified for the job than she was. And if she put me in a position, I would basically outshine her. I would minimize what, respect that she should be given as a manager. And when that happened, that pissed me off. No cap. It pissed me off for a long time. I would just go into work, just do the bare minimum job and take my ass home until I had to snap out of it and say, you know what? Why am I allowing this person to deter me from actually moving up in the company, going out there and being the best employee I possibly can be because of how she feels about me? And once I snapped out of it, I started busting my ass. I started working harder than everybody. I started outsmarting everybody. I started having meetings with, her manager and her manager's manager just to get my face out there so they could get a better understanding on who I am. And once I did that, guess what happened? I started getting promotion after promotion after promotion after promotion. And it led me to the position that I'm in right now. So, guys, never let a manager make you lose your motivation for moving up within a company or just being the best employee you possibly can be. Because it does happen when they defer, the hope from you. Do not let that happen at all. Learn from me, man. Don't fall into that trap, all right? Well, this is part 1 of chapter 4, and we're gonna get to part 2 next week. Your boy gotta clip and edit this video before I gotta head out and pick my son up and take him to this 2-hour practice. And I keep saying 2-hour practice because 2 hours is a long time, especially when it's in the boondocks. All right, I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoy this content. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Feel like they tryna box me in, so I keep a small circle around me, so fuck friends, I kept it real out the gate, these other cats pretend, reigning supreme is something that will never end,